All right, welcome to R&R with the Lords, and this is Lord King and my man Lord Attic. Here where we talk about the latest and greatest in all entertainment, especially the movies. Right now, we're going to talk about a couple of movies that we both got a chance to see. Attic saw some movies, I saw a movie. Well, saw some movies. He saw a movie. And usually we talk about Netflix stuff, but it's been very hectic with a lot of games coming out and my man doing a ton of reviews. He's knee deep in the thick of it. So,
We do
without
have a
further ado,
Patreon question real
oh,
quick
we
though.
do? Oh,
Yeah, so have you guys checked out the show From yet? Season 2 just dropped, has Lost vibes and way more savage. A touch of Redfall in there too, due to the town that is takes place in. Cheers and salute to the lords. Now he did put that in for the Addict show, but it was entertainment related, so I think he might have just got them confused.
okay.
Have you ever
Um,
seen From?
no, I haven't,
Me and
and it's
Grace
something that's on my
literally
list.
just watched the first season like 3 or 4 days ago.
You binge watched the whole first season?
It's that good. Like I
Is
would
that good?
say, because it's like Lost is about the characters, but I would say Lost is more about the island than it is
Right.
about the characters. This is the same thing. Like they keep giving you a little bit of information on the characters, but at the same time they're making the place they are more deeper and more mystery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Something on my bucket list because I'm still watching Petty. So
I finished that whole thing.
I bet you did. And I want to finish it. I got to a very good part, but like I'm telling you, so many things have been going on. So we didn't do R&R with the Lords. What was it? Two
Last week.
weeks ago, last week. So we have movies for 2 weeks, right? And I can tell you about two of the movies that I saw 2 weeks ago, and this is what I was going to bring to the table. 2 weeks ago. Well, one was The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe. In the beginning of the movie, you know, well, let me start off by saying the whole idea of this movie, it's really old versus new. It's like young bloods versus old school. And you have that dichotomy in the church right now on those who truly believe in the old teachings and who don't believe in the old teachings and believes like the devil is a myth and those things aren't really true. They're just something to keep people in line. And then you have the old guard that actually have a chance to witness this stuff. So being the Pope's exorcist, which is Russell Crowe, he gets a chance to see some of the darkest, dirtiest, worst things in the world. And we get to a family that had inherited this house. The father had died, and the family inherited this house from his family, and it's like in some like weird countryside on the hill, and it's some creepy thing that they just wanted to fix it up and sell it.
Hmm.
And they get there to go do so, and the little boy gets possessed by some entity, and the whole backstory is the church did some evil stuff back in the days, and they locked off this demonic presence that's under this house that these guys got, and the entity latched itself onto the child and
You know what's
demanded
funny?
what.
You're describing the Evil Dead Rise. Like,
But this it's the Pope is here, so Pope's exorcist is here, so this is where a little divergence happens. The demon asks for him, Russell Crowe, specifically. I want him. I want that Pope. I mean that exorcist. I want it was like bring me the priest, and that's the priest that he wanted.
I feel like
The
there's a
demon,
reason for that. He's trying to like
right?
take control over just him or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, the demon wanted to take control of him and go back to the Vatican and control the Vatican. And there's some bleak points in this film where possibly this stuff can happen. Well, it was a turning point in the film where I wasn't truly impressed with the film as much because when I come from The Exorcist, so when I get a chance to see some stuff like this, I want to see heads turning, I want to see vomit, I want to see all types of, demonic possession type of things. And it wasn't just giving me that until a point in the movie where it flipped on top of his head. And it seems like Calvin had the script in the beginning, but they gave it to the real dudes at the end. And from, I think it's like the last 45 minutes to an hour of the movie, it takes off. It gets wings and it takes flight. And Russell Crowe gives an immaculate job. I didn't know that he speaks so much Italian in the way that he does. Very fluent in Italian. The movie is, it's bilingual, so you get a chance, to read some stuff at the bottom as you're watching. It's a nice view. It's something to, if you're into these type of spiritual movies, it's something to see. I give it 3 popcorn because, like I told you before, the beginning of the film didn't do it for me, but that last hour or 45 minutes definitely brought a crescendo in, and it's something that they're going to build the franchise to because they lead it on to making a sequel to it. So maybe something to look out for.
Yeah. So one of the movies that you sent me to make the thumbnail with, which I actually really like the thumbnail I made this week. Just adding that in there, but
It was nice.
was The Covenant. I really enjoyed what I saw just from just looking at the trailers, and I'm a fan of Jake. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a fan of Jake. Like I feel like Jake's a great actor, like fantastic actor, and I was hitting up King. I'm like, is there a place I can watch this without going to the movie theater? Because I was trying to sneak it in right before the podcast, like for the show. Just sneak it in, just sit down, watch it. He's like, nah, you gotta go to the movie theater. I'm not driving 45 minutes to go watch Jake. Okay, it's not happening.
Well, this Jake is worth it.
This Jake's worth it. I got to drive 45 minutes this weekend to go watch Guardians. So
Yeah, I got to see Guardians.
yeah. So tell me about The Covenant. And what's funny is there's another movie called The Covenant.
Oh yeah, well that's an old movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie too. I really like that movie.
This is the reason why this one is called Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, and it just, well, of course Guy Ritchie is the director, and I really like Guy Ritchie's films. His films are really good. Like what was that, Fortuna that I just watched, or Fortune that I just watched not too long ago? I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Guy Ritchie film. Well, this film is about after 9/11, they send to Iraq, Afghanistan, 98,000 troops to Afghanistan. 98,000. That's a huge number, almost 100.
One second.
Well, because I need the money. That's really not the truth of the matter of why he picked the job. But he picks the job, and he's the interpreter for that group. And they go on this journey where they build this bond, and they wind up getting ambushed. And I don't want to break up too much of the movie, but I'm gonna give you the gist of it.
Yeah,
They get
first
into an
I want to
ambush.
apologize to the chat. You was muted for like 20 seconds. My headset died, so that's where you come from. Is my headset? So I had to rush and get another charger. So I
Oh,
apologize.
okay, okay.
Continue.
He said, "Mike is muted. Mike is muted. Mike is muted. King, you muted." Oh, good looking guys. All right, that was Attic fault, not mine. All right, so uh, tell me, did y'all get to the part where I said 98,000 troops? Y'all got that part, right?
No, you just go ahead and repeat that
All
the
right.
last
Okay.
minute.
So there's 98,000 troops that were sent to Afghanistan, and they needed 50,000 interpreters. Those interpreters was told that they would get visas for them and their families, and they would be able to get safe sanctuary to the United States. Well, we all know that the United States government don't really uphold their deals this way. But Jake Gyllenhaal, he had a squad, and his squad was on a mission, and the interpreter got killed. They needed a new interpreter, and they wind up going with this new interpreter, small guy, a little feisty guy, but he knows his stuff. Now, this is based on a true story, and I'm going to give you the gist of it. I'm not going to give you too much of the story because I do believe that this is worth your time, your money, and your effort to go see it. Jake and the squad gets ambushed, right? They go out and get some intel, some good intel. They get ambushed. Now, their interpreter that they got right now used to be a drug smuggler. He's not the normal interpreter.
Oh, so he a gangster. Like
Yeah, he knows his way about this. He about that life.
he about that
This,
smoke.
oh,
Does he pop off quicker than they do? Like
oh my God, yo, you'll be amazed at some of the stuff Ahmad does. And
he's like, you guys ain't gonna live unless you actually put up. Like
yo, it's crazy, but the reason why he hates the Taliban is because they killed his son. And this guy just all out wants revenge. He wants to take the Taliban down, and this government gives him the ability to do so and get his family out of there. So they get ambushed. Jake Gyllenhaal gets kind of semi-captured for a second, and then the interpreter pops up, and the interpreter pops up, and he goes all out, and he makes sure that he takes him out of there. He gets him out of that space. They had to go 100 miles. It was 100 clicks to get back to base. Jake is shot. He's wounded. This guy gets him safely back to base. After he gets him back to base, they send Jake home, back to his family, and they leave him out there with his family. His wife is pregnant, and Jake is like, he can't do this. He can't sleep. He can't eat. This guy saved his life because all his memories start coming flooding back to him on what this guy actually did to get him to safety. And Jake has to go back, and he has to go back, and he has to go get this guy. And it's one of the most movies about loyalty. If you look up what a covenant means, loyal, bond, unbreakable. It's something that you hope that you find in this
and,
lifetime.
and you know what's funny? All I had to do is see Jake, and I was like, it's gonna be a good movie. I can't really name any bad movies he's been in. I just watched a recent movie with it's called Ambulance.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's on Prime TV,
Yeah.
and I watched it when I first moved into this new place, and I was just like, this dude's not in any bad movies. Like he really isn't.
You
And you
talk
know
about the
what's
one where his brother and he told his brother to make a couple of some money,
yeah, and then it
yeah,
turns out
yeah,
that it's
it
going
goes
into.
bad.
You know what I like? Obviously, this is spoiling that movie. Like they ended up liking that dude so much that the cop lied at the end to get him out of
Yeah,
as much trouble as he was going to be in. Like,
he's gonna be in a ton of trouble. But this movie has a good beginning, middle, and is in Guy Ritchie's fashion on how he directs, and big names letting you know exactly where they are, what place they are, or where they're at. It's a really good film. I mean, this guy. I think his name was Tilly, Officer Tilly, and I believe his wife had his back. They put their house up. They mortgaged their house so he can get the money to go back into Afghanistan to hire some black ops to go get this guy, go find him and get him. I'm not gonna lie. If you see one war movie this year or a movie that has anything to do with fighting overseas or military, I will highly suggest this film. I give this film the coveted 5 popcorn. It
Five.
Yes, it's worth your time, your effort, and your money. And he doesn't disappoint. There's a part where he talks to his sergeant, his captain, because he's a sergeant. He talks to his captain and he tells him what he wants, what he demands from him. And he's like, and you're going to do this because I saved your life and you owe me a debt. And you're going to pay this debt because you're a man that pays what he owes. And he says it with such fire in his eyes and it's so much command of that moment, that scene. I think that scene totally encapsulates the film, and that film definitely deserves 5 popcorn. Definitely worth
That's
every last drop of your
just
money.
being a 5 to you makes me want to go watch it. You know what? This Friday, it just might be an all day
Movie
movie day. I might go watch that and Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy.
trust. Yeah, you're gonna really like it. If you're a fan of him, you're gonna like it, and it's gonna be something that you care about. All right, and the last film that I saw was Air, the story of the Jordans, how they came to be, and all the stuff that it took to get there. I think Matt Damon and Ben Affleck on screen is magic. The chemistry
Did
that
you
they have
did you know
together.
that they were friends like before
Yeah,
they became famous? I didn't know they lived together and everything.
yeah, they
Like
was yeah.
it got to the point where like they couldn't make rent and like apparently Damon sold a script that they've been working on for a while. Like it was kind of
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, they're really good friends, and you can tell by this film that they're really good friends because the chemistry pops on screen. Chris Tucker is really good in the role that he plays. This is based on real life events.
Chris Tucker
Um,
needs to do a Rush Hour 4 and stop playing.
I'm not a real huge
I love
fan of
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. Yeah. What's Viola Davis? She plays Jordan's mother. I didn't know how integral Jordan's mother was to this deal getting done. And for him not to sign with Adidas, but for him to sign with Nike, because Nike wasn't the number one basketball sneaker at the time. They were the number one running sneaker, but they wasn't the number one basketball sneaker. And they weren't cool. Jordan did that. He changed the way the industry looks at him for how sneaker deals go with athletes and how much percentage athletes get. And his mother plays a huge role, excuse me, in that aspect of that happening. So really good film. If you're a Jordan fan, it's and you like the sneakers. Well, I don't know if you like the sneakers, would you go see it? But if you're a Jordan fan and you want to know more about what happened and how stuff was, the movie is set in
Would
the '80s or early '90s, uh, and it shows everything on how old
would
Vegas
you
was.
would you declare it as a basketball film, or is this like there's no basketball in it? It's just strictly on the origin stories of Jordan's.
No basketball. Is this is a how deals go. Excuse me, like how contracts and negotiations go, and how one thing could just dead the deal.
Yeah,
One
I
thing.
there's been a few of those movies. Like I think Gucci made one too. Like an origin stories. Facebook has one. There's a lot of like origin stories, but I honestly say that the only origin story I've ever really liked was The Social Network, and I don't know why. I think it's because like
The one that
the
was about Facebook.
yeah the acting, and I guess it's because like low key Mark is not the best person in the world back then, especially back then. And it's
Yeah.
like the drama, it just like the pure chaos in that movie. I will never forget when he's like across the table for him. And he's like, well, our client said they couldn't have did this. He's like, me and my people could buy 10 of these places. So stop it with these. Like, your people don't even have the mind intellect to do what I'm doing. Like, I really enjoyed that movie. That was a good movie.
Well, this is sort of in that vein. Background deals, ground up movie. How the Jordans came to be, and it's based on real life stuff. So I'm not a huge Jordan fan as far as sneakers go. Definitely not a huge Jordan fan as far as basketball go. I'm a Scottie Pippen fan, but I can't appreciate what his mother did and what he did as far as separating himself from the other athletes that was in the industry and how contracts were negotiated and done, and Nike having the foresight and ability to break ground in that area and give the athletes a little bit more control of their finances and a little bit more stake into the company. So on those merits alone, I give it a 3 popcorn. It was something good to watch. It was something nice to watch. It's when it hits Netflix or HBO Max or something like that, Amazon Prime, check it out. Is it something I'm gonna tell you to run out and go check out? Not really, unless you're a huge Michael Jordan fan and you need to know every little tidbit about it. But other than that, really solid film. Ben Affleck, like I said, and Matt Damon, they have magic, and it works well.
Yeah, I like those origin stories a lot because I feel like they give a huge perspective on how some of the biggest brands in the world were built.
Yeah,
It's like I said, Social Network's probably my favorite, but there's quite a bit. I think anything that's now obviously is everything 100% no. Like they've been very vocal that a lot of changes in movies is strictly for the audience. They don't, because some things don't translate over to to entertainment as well.
right.
But I definitely like those. I think the one I'm gonna watch definitely that you recommend is that 5-Star The Covenant. I think I'm definitely gonna
Yeah,
watch
you're
that.
gonna like it. You're gonna like it a lot.
So I went and watched The Evil Dead Rise.
Woo!
It was what you would expect from Evil Dead. Now, it's different kind of scenario. You don't normally have the Evil Dead that I watch because most of the time they're in like the middle of the woods. I was watching the TV show, but I never finished it. But most of the time they're isolated. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
besides the immediate friends in the facility, you don't like the demon doesn't really come in contact with anyone else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And this year they're in an apartment complex, and the whole top floor's tenants is pretty much interacting with this demon. And it's do you feel like a horror movie should be scary the entire time? Because I feel like my movie theater was cracking jokes the whole movie. Do you think that if people are laughing more than they're feeling like on the edge or scared to a point, do you think that's a fail of a horror movie? Or do you think that to older audiences such as ourselves or certain audiences, we're going to find some of this stuff funny?
I come from an urban background, so you go into the movie theaters, black people always talking and snapping on a
There
film,
was
no
a
matter
black dude
what.
like 3 hours back that he was cracking me up, dude. I couldn't stop laughing. There's this part where this chick gets destroyed. He's like, she dead. Like,
You see, so it's I don't know, man. I will have to probably see it for myself. But if there's too much lull and too much, there's not enough tension. I think scary movies are supposed to have that tension. Like
you know,
let's Pope's Exorcist. It got that tension throughout the whole
I
film.
feel like the tension and Smiles was good. Like I actually got tension watching Smile. Did you watch Smile?
No, I didn't watch
It Smile is a very tension movie. This movie, I feel like they try to do tension, and I'm not even saying they did it a bad way. But
Right.
what I am saying is somewhere between the line, it just got too comical. Like there's this one part, I'm gonna spoil some of the stuff for you guys. Not anything serious, but she was in front of this door, and you know the peeping hole things.
Yeah.
And so they're looking out, and they see because the mother gets possessed. That's in the trailers. So
Right.
she's sitting there looking. She's like, she has like she's way close up to it. She's pretty much like this, like let me in. and then it like pans back, and now they toss her out there, and they shut the door, right? And they lock it, and it pans back, and you just see her running left to right, killing people. And it's like and it was some gory deaths, like some gory deaths. So it's just like, look, this is exactly how I would expect an Evil Dead. Like it's,
Right.
I don't think that no one ever expects like an ultimate experience watching Evil Dead. I spent too much money on it, so I think I do think I took a little L there. Spent like $60 and all.
Oh god.
And it's not like it wasn't a bad movie. It's just I do enjoy the Evil Dead movies to a point. So to me, it was worth giving them that money to make sure the franchise sticks around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or at least do my part to make sure the franchise sticks around.
So let me ask you a question. I watched almost all of them. Is this ranked higher or lower on the scale of Evil Dead movies?
About middle. I would say it's definitely better than your general Evil Dead, especially some of the characters. I feel like they did really well. I do think. Do you ever take points when you feel like the story and some things doesn't make sense that would happen in real life? Like the staircases get destroyed somehow, and they're on the top floor, but they show that someone came out from a lower floor, and the staircases work fine. So clearly, like let's say there's 10 floors. You know, this floor here is fine. So everything down is okay because she walked down just fine. And these 3 floors are messed up, or however many floors it was. And I'm just thinking, if there's a demon and they just destroying everyone, I'm gonna take my chance jumping off the staircase. And I might get hurt a little bit because there's gonna be a little bit of a drop there. But I feel like I got a better chance crawling down the staircase if it comes down to that. Because this demon grabs you, it's over. Like you're dead. And I feel like I can't remember 100%. Go ahead and talk. Okay, I just want to make sure. So I feel like I have the mixture right there, and I didn't see your stuff going at it. So I don't remember them using the book to this degree. Like I remember the Book of the Dead being in the Evil Dead.
Yeah, it just only opened up, and they used it to find a spell to seal them up and send them back.
Oh no, this one, it literally used certain like images in the Evil Dead.
Oh,
like so. Look, is it the greatest movie in the world? No, I would probably give it a 3-star. You know, I think how I would go. First 2 stars is a no watch. 3 stars, look, if you like that type of movie, go watch it. 4 stars is good. You should go watch it. And 5 stars, what are you doing? Exit out of the podcast and go watch it. And it's just, I think it was good. I don't expect like the greatest type of movie when I watch that, but I do expect to be entertained. And I would say I was entertained.
good.
You know, they started with another scenario that's going on. So I like what they did there. And clearly this is going to be more of these. Like they do have a franchise, and it looks like they're going to expand.
So it wasn't like comedy like Army of the Dead. It wasn't like that.
No. This is comedy that you would have to find funny. It's not deliberately supposed to be funny. It's like I said, like she like imagine like a shot like this, and you see her running left and right, and you see bodies just throwing everywhere around the see. Most of the time you wouldn't think that's funny, but me, I thought it was hilarious.
Right.
Because like she would run this way and you see a body fly this way. and then like everyone was laughing. Like there was a time at the very beginning where someone was sick on a bed and they fell off. The whole movie theater just cracked up laughing. Like, cause she's sitting there talking and she's talking to her, and then she's like, "Are you okay?" You just hear a thump.
I'll check it out. I'm gonna probably check it out when it comes to a streaming service. All right, hold on. We got Boston Ray with the $5 super chat. I saw Evil Dead definitely focuses on the jump scares too much. I enjoyed the movie and it's on a higher level of Evil Dead movies. Yeah, good. Thank you. I don't like what Evil Dead devolved into because the first Evil Dead was really scary and trippy. And then when it got to Army of the Dead, it really devolved into something that was more comical opposed to something that was supposed to be frightful and suspenseful.
Yeah, I don't think this was generally directed that. I think that they deliberately made these to be scary, but some people
Right.
would find them more funny. And that's just what you get now. It's like I said, Smile. It's on. I think it's on Pandora Plus or whatever that Paramount Plus. Go watch that. Like that is a generally creepy movie. My girl was like generally frightened of that movie. Like we left the movie theater. It was okay. Like there's jump scares. Like you could tell that she was getting a little uncomfortable watching it, but I never
Yeah.
felt like she was like, "Let's go." Smile. She made me turn it off.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
it's a good
my
movie.
wife watch that.
It's on Prime too.
It's
Yeah,
on Prime.
Smile
All
is
right.
a good movie, and I think you should watch it.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, and then
Well, we got Guardians of the Galaxy this weekend, sir.
yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I say we need to. I don't even know. I wish
We need a guest.
if we can get Tyler on.
Yeah, we can get Tyler. I'm thinking about Spartan Locke.
Yeah, we can get a couple people on. We can. You know what we'll probably do next week? Because next week's a big movie. Because it's not Ant-Man.
Yeah.
We'll just go to like a standard Zoom call and
Right.
just do a standard spoiler cast. You know what I'm saying?
I'm down for that, man.
Yeah,
100%.
so, all right. Like I told you guys need to go. I would say the only movie, and I think it's fair, the only movie that's a must watch is The Covenant from this week.
Yeah. Everything else is, catch it on streaming.
Yeah, catch it when it comes out. We ain't telling you go spend your money on anything but The Covenant. Evil Dead. Wait for it to go on Game Pass. I'm joking. Actually, I think
not like
the
Red
Evil
Bull.
Dead movie is on the Evil Dead game is on Game Pass. Like,
Yeah, right? Isn't it? Yeah, probably so.
I don't know. So we're gonna go ahead and head out. Now, keep in mind, we did get to their Microsoft Edge on our Patreon. We are up to season 2. We're about almost through season 2 of Attack on Titan with King. I got some Demon Slayer that me and my girl reacted to. That after he finished his season 2, I'm gonna post that up there. King finally found out who the Colossal Titan are and who the Armored Titan is.
Yeah.
So definitely go over there
I
and
know
check
the
that out.
Colossal don't got no legs though or something. I don't know what's going on.
He does
with
got
him.
legs. See, he's able to like summon half of his body if he wants to.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, he pretty much just summoned the topper half of his torso. But he definitely can. You see him again, King, and he definitely got legs that time. And see, what they don't tell you is he can make it to where when he summons his body, it's like a nuke. Like a giant explosion. So it's going to be interesting. But I appreciate everyone coming through, man. We had a strong 42 in here. I think that was what it was. You guys are definitely going to catch IOP this week. It's going to be a doozy, man. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Addict shows tomorrow. Dirt. Yeah, I would ask King to come on, but I want him to save his bars for Sunday. So I'll probably get someone else to come on. But I appreciate everyone coming through. We're going to go ahead and end the show. King, where can people find you at? What you got going on? You ready to announce another type of thing, or are you still getting logistics on that?
Still getting logistics on that. Hey, Sunday, you see Iron Lords podcast Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And look
You
at my
definitely don't
Naruto
want to miss
eating
this week.
ramen.
It'll be dope. Yeah, I like that ramen. That ramen looks nice. I need to have some ramen.
This is the kind of ramen I want to eat.
Yo, when you come to New York the next time, I'm taking you to Rock and Ramen.
Well, Cog and Sol were talking to me about coming for the next video game award thing up there because apparently, if we're on the board, I got to kind of be there at this point.
Yeah, I have no choice. Yeah, suited up too. You got to be suited up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We was laughing about that in the background.
All right, and you guys can catch me on IOP, catch me on Twitter, Gaming Addict. I released a video today. Definitely go check that out. Potentially Hellblade 2 might come out this year. There's some stuff floating around that would say that that's a good release date. Might happen. I appreciate everyone for coming through. We're going to start redefining the show because I got the good rhythm that we want, but I do think we need some things to tone it down to like
Yeah, I got you.
to mainstream it. But I appreciate everyone coming through. We're going to go ahead and end the show. Have a nice day. Peace. This is King and
Peace.
Addict.